Very good. We figured out some Web 2 issues with displays and stuff, so we can start talking about building on NEAR on Web 3 technologies. I will piggyback a little bit on the Pagoda talk, because after you use Pagoda, you need to start using Chainstack. I will explain why. So the guys are building the set of tools that you need to use to start building on NEAR, but then you start running some stuff in production, right? So now you need like some high RPS kind of services that allow you to scale, and then you can run basically like for millions of users. So that's what Chainstack is doing. So we're basically the most powerful suite of services connecting people and applications to decentralized infrastructure, right? So we're enabling a lot of different applications in different segments and verticals, from DeFi to analytics and everything in between, like including NFT marketplaces, you name it, like dApp marketplaces and so on, like payment systems, oracles, DEXs, and everything in between, right? So basically all the large-scale applications, they need some sort of infrastructure with support, reliability, and services that allow you to scale and sleep well at night, to have peace of mind after you build your app and after you deployed it. So TLDR of this talk is that Chainstack likes NEAR, and we love the community and its vibrancy. So we love NEAR builders as well, so that's why we are here. What Chainstack does is that we provide reliable and fast NEAR infrastructure. Who needs this? I already explained, like anybody who would build any application on NEAR. In the end, if you run in production, then you need a service like Chainstack. So basically we make sure you have fast, reliable, scalable access to the blockchain infrastructure so that you can read data from the blockchain and you can write data to the blockchain too. Right, so basically we take all the burden from you of you managing nodes. If you start using like public RPC endpoints and you get like rate limited or throttled, that's something that you would need to consider using after you move to production. So that's basically the service that we provide for both NEAR mainnet, NEAR testnet, and more to come. I will talk a little bit later about other things that we are launching today. While the next slide is coming, we have different options for the service. Basically, you can use us as an elastic infrastructure. So basically, you plug in our endpoints to your dApp like this, and then it just runs, and you don't think about, like, again, rate limiting, throttling. The disadvantage of this model for builders who are running some really large-scale applications, that they have to pay per RPC call or like per API call. It's the same as other node providers in the world provide their services, right? So basically, you plug in the endpoint. It's geographically distributed. You have access to different like nodes and different data centers, in our case, in different regions, in different cloud providers. So what we also do, we provide dedicated nodes, which gives you unlimited access to NEAR infrastructure. So let's say we have customers who are running like 10,000 RPS on their DEX, right? So it's a lot of volume. So if you pay per calls, your bill will be very huge. So what we do as an alternative business model to the traditional like Elastic model, we provide dedicated API nodes to access the blockchain data and to send transactions. So there's basically no limit on a request that you send to your nodes. You can spin up nodes very quickly. They are completely synced. You can do it in multiple data centers. So let's say you understand that your customer base is primarily in Portugal, so you can run a node somewhere close to Portugal. For instance, we provide data centers in Frankfurt and Amsterdam. Or you think that your major like user base is in US, or you're a trader and you want to trade something like somewhere from very low latency. So for instance, you're based in Singapore, so you can have a NEAR node in Singapore, and you have like absolutely minimal latency to your NEAR node in Singapore. So there's a technology that is providing all these batteries for our services that we provide. It's called Bolt. So without Bolt, you are really struggling to sync any blockchain node, because as blockchain is designed, it's very distributed, and it contains all the data from all the history of all the transactions that happen in the chain. So we developed a technology that allows you to spin up a new dedicated node on all blockchains, including NEAR, and it can be up and running in a few minutes time, and it's completely synced, and you can do it in any data center. So it's pretty cool technology. We use it across all our 18 protocols that we support today, and this obviously applies to NEAR too. So it's very cool. We recommend you just to fill it and like register on the platform and try to run your own dedicated node. It will be just spinned up in like 5 minutes. It will be completely synced, and it will be complete your own node. Today, we are very excited to launch our Aurora support, because without Aurora, there's no NEAR. Without NEAR, there's no Aurora. So they are all coming together today. And we're launching a managed service for Aurora today. I will do a very little demo, how platform looks like. I like doing like demos. So I will show you how to spin up your personal private Aurora node in no time. And you can basically leverage all that I mentioned for NEAR just for Aurora. Let's try it. Seems to be working so far. So here's Chainstack. So basically, when you join Chainstack, you have a bunch of projects that you can create. You can like select type of project that you want to do. We support like public networks, private networks, whenever you want to build. So let's say I have a project with my public networks that I created for a long time. Here's a collection, as you see. We have many blockchains supported. Sometimes I have like 6 nodes running, 12 nodes running for a given network. So let's say I have NEAR network here, and I have a couple of nodes. So we support all the modes for all the nodes, like full, archive, basically whatever you want. When you have a node, you can get inside, have some basic information about the node. Here, as you see, I just launched it today, and I created exactly one request. Here you can see it on the dashboard. You can get all the access points to your node and plug in into, like, in case of Aurora, you can plug it to MetaMask. In case of NEAR, you can plug it into your app or new wallets that will be appearing on a NEAR ecosystem. For the sake of the demo, I will show you some node that has been running for a while just to see how the dashboard looks like. Let's take some Ethereum mainnet node. Let's say the first one. So you see that it's processed a bunch of requests, so almost 2 million requests. Here's a chart. You can swap between like 7 days, 24 hours. You can see the breakdown for calls that you've sent to your node, like the response codes, like whether they were successful or not, and again, get all the connection details to your node. So I will show you how easy it is to spin up your own node on Chainstack. So let's say we want to demo Aurora today because we just launched it. Let's use mainnet, for instance. You can read more stuff about all the blockchain networks that we support and understand like what's the difference between full, archive, what kind of node do you need. So we have amazing documentation for everything that we built. You can choose like dedicated archive nodes. You can also host your own node in your own infrastructure if you want. So some particular customers, they want to run nodes closer to their own applications so that they have minimal latency. So we enable all that too. So far, we launched Aurora in Amsterdam. And let's say I name my node NEARCON2022. So it shows me what it will be like, how much would it cost, and so on and so forth, when it will be deployed. And then I just join the network. In a couple of minutes, it will be launched. The internet is pretty slow here, but I have one node running from today morning. So while it's spinning up, just want to show you some documentation. So we have very extensive documentation for each protocol we support, including Aurora, for instance. We have all the interaction tools here described, like, okay, how to plug in your node into MetaMask, what kind of development tools you can use. By the way, we need to add Pagoda here, apparently. So we'll work on it after this talk. We have all the traditional like EVM tools like Truffle, Hardhat, and anything that you've worked before when using like Ethereum and other EVM networks, like Web3.js. We even support Web3 PHP. Anybody used Web3 PHP? It's actually a pretty widely used framework. I was kind of amazed, but so Web3 Pi, of course, like Web3 PHP too. People using PHP today. Ethers.js and all that. So you can find all these tools here. We also write amazing tutorials. So let's say for NEAR, we wrote a tutorial how to do a message contract. And it's like step by step, so you can go one after another and just go through the tutorial to get understanding on how to build things on a given blockchain. We have it for all protocols that we support. So as you see, we support quite a lot. So we have amazing documentation built for all of that. Let's see whether my node is up and running or not. Not yet. So the original one will look exactly the same. So the beauty of Chainstack is that you have all the same experience for all the blockchains that you support. So if you start using it for, let's say, Ethereum, and then you want to move to NEAR, even though it's not EVM-based network, you will see exactly the same sort of experience, UI, UX. So you don't need to learn new tools. You don't need to learn new platforms, how to access the new network that you want to start building on. So it's all heterogeneous experience for all the networks that we support. So okay, this is the old one. Let's see. The internet is pretty slow. Okay, it's not loading now. So okay, maybe I should connect my phone. Let's try. Maybe new tab. Okay, so the NEARCON node is up and running. We can access it and see the node details. As you see for other nodes that I show, like NEAR nodes or Ethereum nodes. So you can see all the namespaces supported by the node, the version, and of course the same dashboard with requests and response codes for the node in the same way as you would see for any other blockchain node. So to learn more, I recommend you to go to our website. So basically we have detailed explanation of our offering for NEAR and Aurora on our website. So if you go to chainstack.com and choose NEAR Aurora from the top menu, you will see the description of what it can do, what it cannot do. You can see amazing documentation on the docs website. You can go through tutorials. We're also hiring. Our team is around 90 people around the world. So we have 20 plus countries in the company. So we are very remote. We have people everywhere because we are an infrastructure company. So we need to operate 24/7. So we have people on all continents. So if you're interested in blockchain infrastructure, feel free to join us. Very cool times. Very exciting. So welcome to Chainstack, NEAR Aurora. We're very happy to be here. If you have any questions, guys, we apparently have some time for questions. There seems to be a microphone that you can walk and ask questions if you want.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Can you try one more time?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Kinda.
Kind of?
Remotely, very remotely.
Is it better now? Nope.
But you can try. I could understand that you're saying.
Okay, I'll try to talk louder. So does Chainstack support custom DNS, like custom domain for Node?
That's a great question. So domain names is part of our roadmap for this year because we want to provide a complete set of services that any builder would need. So APIs for blockchain is one. What else is our roadmap is storage, obviously. So like access to IPFS, RWeave is on our roadmap. So that's something that we're working on right now. All sorts of indexing solutions, like the graph, for instance. We're going to support our own hosted service for the graph. And then DNS is the next, basically. So we want to support all the domain name systems on all the corresponding network through the unified API, so that whenever, let's say, you need to register a domain or resolve a domain or get information about the domain, you will have a unified API that will allow you to do that. So this is on our roadmap for this year.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, guys, thank you very much. All builders unite. Have a great time and start using Chainstack today.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Eugene. Yeah, I'm really excited about Chainstack because this sort of dynamic infrastructure where you can just spin up a node right from your own home computer is exactly what we need to grow the decentralization of the network and expand it to be supported all over the world. This is how we grow NEAR.